Wait, I'm parenting worker for KSCS, and I'm rooted out of the Family and Wellness Center, and I'm here today for the What's for Lunch activity.
Great. Welcome to What's for Lunch. I'm Shakotiia'takenhnas, nutritionist at the Kateri Memorial Hospital Center, and I'm happy to be here with you today to prepare this nice and simple little lunch.
And I am a prevention worker here at the Family Wellness Center, and I'm going to do my best to try to incorporate a few vegetables in there to cook with your family.
So welcome everybody. What I'd like to begin with is just to let you know that we're doing this live recording, and what I'd love is for anybody who's out there watching us that you comment, you like, you follow the KSCS page, and if you tag someone, that next week we're going to be doing this draw for all the people who are commenting and who are tagging someone. Their names are going to be put in to win this beautiful set of 3 bowls from Pioneer Woman. And we'll be doing that before our segment on Wednesday next week. And what I'd like to tell you just before we start, and I usually, Chantal does it, is just the hand washing, and obviously we're at a distance here working together today, which is why we're outdoors. And everybody who has registered has received this kit of free ingredients. So what I'm going to do is I'll just pull out what's in it so you get to see these wonderful goodies that everybody gets. So to begin, obviously we put the recipe in. And inside the bag, they're going to find the vegetables that they're going to be needing for the recipe. So there's going to be a red pepper. We have some spinach. There's some mushrooms. We have some green onion, or some people call it shallots, or I don't know, like green. There's some cheese. We have also supplied a box of crackers, and they're going to find a carton of eggs. So this is what everybody will be receiving, and it's not too late to register. What will happen is, if you do register now, because we are doing this over a 4-week period, we're already into our second one. Unfortunately, last week we had technical difficulties, so the video never got posted, but it was a pretty easy recipe that you know, if you just Googled how to make the hummus, you were able to figure out how to do it. And we do supply the recipe, so you're able to do something at home as well. So for the next 2 more weeks we have of this segment, so people can still register. They just have to email me, and I'll be giving you all that information at the end of this session. So I'll let Chantal begin with the prep.
Okay, so as Frankie said, I'm just going to remind you again, as always, whenever you start cooking, before cooking, you need to make sure you have very clean hands, and all your work surfaces, everything is nice and clean. So here, also as far as COVID safety measures go, we're outdoors, and that's why we're able to be together at a distance and without masks. So I just want to remind you of that. It's super important. Also, all our ingredients are already washed, so we brought them outside to the picnic table to show you. So when we were, as you know, those of us who have participated with us before, we often do cooking workshops. We have families, parents, children, and we really encourage cooking together as a family. So we're trying this out to do on Facebook Live, and we're really hoping parents will participate with their kids. The recipes are for simple lunches. So today we're making mini egg bites. So it's like a little, if you want, like a little omelet made in a muffin tin. And like I always say, with cooking, it's an art. It's not necessarily carved in stone. It's your chance to be creative, to do whatever you want. So if you like cheese, add more cheese. If you don't like whatever it is, maybe mushrooms, you can skip the mushrooms, or so you can try anything you want. You can try other vegetables that you have at home, maybe zucchini, maybe carrots. It's your opportunity to be creative. Add garlic, anything you like. And of course, we'd love to hear your version of the recipe. So here we go. So the recipe calls for eggs and a few drops of milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. So So we're gonna start chopping the vegetables. Today we have what Frankie showed you: green onions, spinach, mushrooms, and peppers. So we're gonna chop up the vegetables small and place them in a bowl, and then we're gonna whip the eggs with the milk and pour them into the muffin tins. Okay, let's get going. We're good. We're gonna start chopping. So I'm gonna take a mushroom. So again, when you're cooking with children, it's important to teach them proper cutting techniques. It's important to keep your fingers out of the way. So you make a spider with your fingers. Keep them away from the knife blade. And with a mushroom, once you've cut one slice, you can turn it. So now it's lying flat and it won't roll around. So that helps to keep better control of your... You can keep turning it and you'll get smaller pieces.
So maybe while we're chopping a little bit, Chantal, we could discuss, you know, the importance of family spending time together and how mealtime is really that opportunity, right, for parents to sit down with their kids, shut off all technology and the TV, and just really, really have that time to be together and talk about their day or talk about what's worrying them or maybe some of the fun things that they did if they're in sports, things like that. And a meal obviously really entails a lot of preparation and organization. So we feel that, like, if parents know beforehand what their meals are going to be, then it alleviates the rush to the grocery store and having to pick up last minute little ingredients that they're missing. It also helps with financial costs, right? When we budget and we know beforehand what we need, we'll probably check the circulars or we'll be a little bit more cautious of what we're spending on. Whereas if you're running to the store last minute, right, that's where we can end up making those extra spending that we shouldn't. So being careful in that organization really, really does also help with the structure of your day. And let's be real, with everybody going back, maybe working from home or the kids are home, they're not being sent back to school. There's a lot of organization that's needed for that kind of care. So having your meals planned out before helps with that. Also getting the kids to give you their ideas of what they want you to make, right? It makes it more fun. They're feeling like they're part of it, especially if we include them in the preparation of the meals. So, families can kind of sit together maybe on a Sunday and just plan out their meals for the week. That's something that they could do.
Eso diari hawana daga asekena ya niha daga ya listahan dano agway kung skatne ay suwayota dano skatne ay suwagara du dano jogo de yana na skatne ay suwakuni dano kashkuyo ay suwakuni oni agway kung chat de wasapugegi ganto dano kastanix ay suwanuwen. So some other ideas I like to add when I'm doing my egg cups are ham or bacon or
You're eating the meat?
broccoli. Yes. And I love to dip. I'm a dipper. So I either like to dip with salsa or hot sauce.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, so it just spices things up if they don't like the taste, or if you just want something hotter, or just add your own
flavor.
twist. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So like Frankie was saying, when you're home a lot and if the kids are not in school, which, a lot of people have chosen to homeschool, we're missing the usual structure that we get from school. So kids, when they're going to school, our day is really kind of timed. There's a lunch time, there's a after school time, rush in the morning. So it's important if you're home with your kids to try and maintain some form of structure, because it's very reassuring for them to have structure and it just helps your day be more organized. So meal times are part of that structure. So that's just something to keep in mind. Take the time to take a break for lunch, take the time to make your lunch and enjoy that time together. So here, our vegetables are just about done. Go ahead.
And I just wanted to add an important part of what my mom taught me was always to clean up and help your mom clean up.
Awesome.
Because she'll let you have dessert or she'll let you have something just before bed. And it's just a healthy habit to get into. When you get older, you have those positive habits to just clean up after yourself and really kind of respect where you are. You're not at
vegetables are chopped. Now we're going to crack the eggs. I'm going to make half the recipe. Your recipe says 8 eggs. I'm going to make just half. So I have this little gadget which makes it actually very easy for children to participate. It's actually a gravy separator. So it pours out from the bottom. I'll show you. It's from the dollar place, so very accessible. Or you could use any measuring cup. It's just easier to pour. Now, whenever we do activities with the children at school, they always want to be the one to crack the egg. They love cracking the eggs. So obviously when young children are participating in the kitchen, it might get a little messy, but it's part of the learning experience.
It's fun for them, but not so much for the parents, right?
Well, if they're like the Nahne, they clean up after themselves, it's all good.
So what we'd love to see in the comment box is also you're able to upload a photo. So if you're not registered to do this activity, but you choose to do it at home because you have the necessities, feel free to post your picture as well. We love to see families interacting. And what we want to start doing is have people tag, and I've come up with a hashtag. It's FWC Let's Get Cooking. So you put all those letters together and you can hashtag that, and then all those photos that everybody will be posting will be all grouped there, and we'll have access to see them even though we're perhaps not friends on Facebook. And we can just go visit that page too, right? So we were able to see everything that's going to be posted there.
Okay, so here I have my eggs with my milk with a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're just going to whisk them. This is another thing kids love doing, to use a whisk.
There's a warrior, there's a warrior, there's a warrior.
There's a warrior, there's a warrior.
So what does that mean?
Stir it.
Stir it?
Yeah.
Stir it, stir it.
It's actually catchy, right?
In school, we used to go, there's a warrior, there's a warrior, there's a warrior. So it kind of sticks in their head.
Right.
And it's just
Whenever
a fun...
you sing, it sticks in your head. Yeah. Okay, so the recipe calls for a non-stick spray, which I don't have today. But if you have it at home, it really works really well. And I'm using these mini muffin tins. You could use regular if you like. But the mini ones are nice for kids because it just makes bite-sized portions. And then you can have fun trying different flavors. You can make a plain one, you could make with, without cheese, with just onion, or etc. So I poured a little bit of oil into 1 cup, and now I'm going to use my little brush to just grease all of them a bit. I'm dipping into where I put the oil. All right, then, so now we're going to pour. And don't fill it right to the top. Whoops, that one went too far. And the veggies, with my clean hands, I'm going to put a little bit of veggies in each one. And a little bit of cheese on top. And there you have it. So you continue, same idea, keep pouring your egg and get all your pan full. And we cook these in the toaster oven, so that's another thing that's great for kids because it turns off by itself. You can't forget it on. That's awesome. You put on the timer and then it stops by itself. So when all that is done, so this is the result. Here's our little cooked omelet or egg bites. And for a serving suggestion, as you know, what makes a complete meal is having a nice amount of vegetables or fruit, some kind of protein source. So our protein here is the egg, and then some kind of grain for energy. So we're using crackers. So here's our little balanced meal with our eggs, with veggies. We use apples and then some crackers. So sometimes, you know, you might like to have this with a salad, but sometimes kids really enjoy having fruit better than a salad, or as just to change it up a bit. So you could serve it with fresh fruit. And a little trick for the apples that I think many people know, but maybe not, is you chop up if you don't want them to turn brown right away, you chop up your apples and then you squeeze some lemon in and you put them in some water and lemon, and that way they don't go brown. It creates like a little coating. And it also tastes great. It just gives it a nice little zing. So there you have it. We hope you enjoyed this little lunch meal.
So just before we say our adieus, I just want to remind everybody to please go on the bottom where you see comment and tag someone, like our little video that we did today, and leave your comments as well. And like I said earlier, you can also upload a picture if you're not registered and you're able to do this at home with your family. Share that with us, and don't forget to hashtag FWC Let's Get Cooking all together. And a reminder, the people who will leave comments, who will tag someone, they're going to be eligible for this beautiful little gift of 3 bowls from Pioneer Woman that we will be drawing next week on our next segment of What's for Lunch, that's taking place next Wednesday again on Facebook Live via KSCS, their Facebook page, and that will be at 11 o'clock. So with that, I will say enjoy your preparation and spending time with your family, and have fun with this. This is really what this whole activity is about. It's just taking that time with your kids and letting them be creative, and be creative yourself.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Ona.
Ona, enjoy your lunch.